Gentlemen, caballeros, carnal, bienvenido a localidad de trabajo. No, I'm practicing my Spanish, trying to get off the frozen shithole of Hoth before the next winter cycle and before Chickadee gets into school. What for teaching her up with the scorching Spanish swear words and malaria. The boss has other ideas, but I'm hopeful and I'm practicing nonetheless. Lo que tenemos aquí una plomba bob. Caramelo especial de Esteret. A bonny, a beauty, and a joy forever. Check it out, yo. Esteret Plumb Bob. They don't make them, well, they do make them, no, they don't make them like this anymore on account of got some sort of fluid in there. So let's have a look at this beautiful bonny tool from a bygone age when someone would build you a proper tool out of the best materials known to man without regard for cancer or ruining the environment. A beautiful mercury-filled Esteret Plumb Bob. It comes surmounted in this beautiful Corinthian red Tiffany box for men, an 87B Mercury Focus, you fuck, catalog 87B, size 5.5, quantity 1. The Esteret Company, Athol, Massachusetts. I'm a little stuffed up, sorry, I apologize. And yes, the envelope is a little thin this week. I'll catch you next week with the rulers. Eat, sleep, breathe rulers where you got the whole family there just sweatshopping it out. But we are going to hit the 6-week target for shipping them out. So all the merch orders are coming. They're coming, boys. And thank fuck when they're out of here. I'm going to take a break. We also went to the big city, and you know how road food, you eat so, you know, like you go with your buddies and it's like, we got to go to this restaurant, man. The food is so good. The plates are this fucking big. Yeah, so the beef now, just I'm getting old or something and just fucking bungs me right up. So I'm suffering through that. I feel like I'm getting a cold, stressed right out. And like the old fellows tell you, you don't shit, you die. Puck de bad head. I even took one of them suppositories. Didn't work and it tasted like shit. This can't be too old. It doesn't predate nylon. This is nice, stiff nylon cord. And you can see the feature here that you don't get on the new ones. So where the you can knot that in and it tightens right up on there. Nice little feature there. Now I'm going to get out the something to contain the fluid in here. Now this of course predates any Rose or Rojas, whatever kind of professional sibboleth you want to use. That's the Royal Occupational Health and Safety Society. The Queen got involved with taking lead and mercury and stuff out of electronicals, which is just complete and utter. When bureaucrats get involved in technical matters, you know it ain't gonna be good. And tin whiskers and so forth. I digress. This is full of delicious liquid metal. Now the liquid metal in and of itself is not particularly dangerous when it's contained properly. However, the problem is the vapors, and you get Hatter's disease. You get mad as a hatter from Alice in Wonderland. What they would do is they would make felt out of animal fur like rabbit, and they would use mercury nitride, mercuric nitride, which is water soluble, and that would flatten and smooth out the fibers of this hair from hairs. Of course, the problem is it's not, well, it would make it a salt. So if you look at a drug, say dextromethorphan hydrobromide, it has that hydrobromide group on there to make it a salt so that it can get absorbed by your body in the gut very quickly. So if you ever see drugs and they always have a hydrobromide or some sort of salt on the end, that's just so your gut can pick it up quick. But the problem is not getting it in your hand. It's not getting the metal the metal in your hand. It's actually getting the fume or the salt that releases the fume, the gaseous state of the mercury, and that gets into your bloodstream and causes all kinds of tremors and terrible, terrible illnesses. So we're not too worried as long as we have just minimal exposure. We'll see here. We got a plug in there, but for containing it. We look at the threads there. Beautifully machined part, nice and polished. This would not have been on a CNC, but it might have been on a specialized machine just for doing these in one piece. You can imagine the amount of work that went into that, all the different steps. Now you can buy these, they're 75 freedom bucks. Seems expensive, but if you're gonna keep it around, you know, this will be an heirloom you can pass on to your, well, you can pass it on to your son-in-law. You know, here's a reminder, if you ever treat my daughter bad, this is how we're gonna keep your grave nice square sides so you can't climb out, you fucking dirty, or butch lesbian, whatever. You know, as long as she's happy, that's all that matters. Of course, flat bladed, made ourselves a fine chaudière, but these are worth keeping around. Just the hazard fraud. Now you see, you get the $10 off coupon because they cheated you on the price. So these are good to have around. They're called an impact driver, and what they basically what you do is you give her a tweak this way with the hammer, and it goes thus ways with the twisty bit, just enough to break it loose, and then you can go ahead, use your regular old flathead here, and it's tight. It appears to have some shmoo in there. The tears and devastation of tree carcasses past. I'm being quite ginger here. Sure enough, look at her. Oh, Quicksilver, so cool. Fun to play with, not real good for you. Oh, as you can see, they don't make them like that anymore. Beautiful. Now, why put that little titty bit of? Well, maybe it was just some marketing wank back in the day. But you would think that that would allow it to dampen the sloshing and also make it very, very heavy for the size of her. Comparatively speaking, the new ones out of steel are a little bit longer. Let's not get into that. There we have it. They don't make them like that anymore on account of bureaucrats. Thanks for watching. Keep your dick in a vice. On a side, a cautionary note, the surface tension of this is so great, you would think it sticks together, but I've been prospecting lots, and you can go through old tailings, and when you put it under the microscope, there's microscopic globules of mercury left over in the soil from 100 years ago. We can see here, there's actually residual, look at that, residual left on the plastic. Now, plastic doesn't wet, of course, by mercury, but it's sticking. So be careful and make sure you get as much of it out of here as possible. And then if you're messing around with it, I would put this in a dilute acid so at least it goes into acid and it's not in, or maybe that's even worse. Maybe it's better to leave it. Don't fuck with it. There you go. Don't fuck with it, because you're going to get in trouble. You know, say you were in New York City or some very suburban locale and you drop this on the ground, it'd be fucking game over. Game over. They would call in the hazmat. It'd just be a total clusterfuck. So you don't want that happening. Just be careful. We're going to put her right back in here. And Bob's your auntie. Thanks for watching. I already said it.